the first time.
Hi there, I hope this video found you well and you enjoyed the clips that I showed you for my trip to Glasgow. It was a very brief, quick trip to Glasgow. So I thought we'd start this video with looking at a few goodies that I got from the trip. The purpose of the trip was basically a work meeting and then looking at all the independent art and stationery stores that I could possibly squeeze in the very brief amount of time that I was there, and then also visit the Macintosh at the Willow, his famous tea room that they've just redone, because when I last went to Glasgow it was closed because it was like the beginning of the season, so they weren't really open because it was like New Year's time, so they had very strange hours. So yeah, they were open this time. We got to have a good look and a good nosy around, which you just saw in those clips. So let's see what I got. I got some stationery stuff as well as a couple of like souvenir sort of bits as well. So the first store that I visited was Draw. I met a lovely chap who runs the store with his little dog, Neil, I think his name is. I'm sorry if I've forgotten it already. He was kind enough to let me film a little bit in the store as well. But the thing is, by the time I plucked up the courage to ask him, is it okay if I can film in there? A lot of people started coming into the store at that time, and it's a very small shop. So yeah, I only got a very brief clip really. Before I had to move on as well, because I was running out of time as well. So yeah, I shouldn't have waited so long by by plucking up the courage to ask him if it was okay to film. But he was absolutely lovely. And his store is fantastic. It's full of Japanese, German and US art supplies as well as stationery. So yeah, if you're in Glasgow, I highly recommend going there, because I know we can see quite a few bits online that he had in the store, but he had some unique stuff as well. I mean, there was this Japanese, there was this Scottish seaweed paper, artist paper that I was tempted to get, but I'm like, I need to work through my paper stash that I've got. So I'm like, next time I'm here, I will get some. Plus I'm also trying to not spend too much. So yeah, it's just nice to be able to physically see the products in person and also feel the papers as well, because I was umming and ahhing about getting a Life book and an MD book. MD book, I'm still maybe thinking about it. It's just they don't do B5 sizes and I kind of want to go into the B sizes. So if I need an A size, like A5 or A4, I might consider a Midori. But I won't be getting a Life book. I don't know what it is with the paper in there. I just don't like the feel of it. It is a little bit thicker as well, so that's probably what it is. But it does feel smooth. So yeah, I won't be moving into that. But that was a great thing. I didn't have to buy one off Amazon like I did with the Stylogy notebook. And realise, oh, actually it's not for me. So yeah, I like to be able to physically go to a shop. And in York, there are no art supply shops or stationery shops other than Hobbycraft in the works, and that doesn't really do Hobonichi stuff or Travellers or anything like that. So yeah, very limited for what I can get hold of, so it was an absolute pleasure to be able to go to this store. And it's in such a kooky little place as well. There's the information and the little map and the little flyer he gave me. So let's have a look at what's in here before I continue rambling. So as I said, I don't want to spend too much, and I only wanted to get stuff that I knew that I was going to use. So first up, I got a replacement for a Karataki paint, because you can buy the individual pans at that store, which is fantastic. This is the 150 shade, and it's basically a malachite. It's also pretty much the colour that I use for my character Nookie. So he has full sets as well, but you can buy the individual pans there, which is fantastic. And then I've got some Traveller's accessories. So I've got this Traveller's Notebook MD paper cream, and it's just a refill insert. Because I've got a couple of Traveller's sized books, but they're not officially Traveller's Notebook, so it'd be interesting to see what the difference is. Okay, yeah, I like this, yeah. It's a little bit thicker than Tomorrow paper, but that's okay, that's fine. And it's nice and plain as well. So I'm going to be using that for my Moomin Commonplace book. The other thing I got with this Traveller's, I was deciding whether to get the card file or the zipper case, and I couldn't decide, so I got both. So I might only end up using one of them. We'll see. Got some bits of things. Yeah, this is actually what I was looking for, because on the Traveller's case you usually have the bands that you tuck under the your booklets for, but I've got some thicker ones. So like my Faded Chronicle is quite a thick one, and I don't really want to stick a band down the middle of it. So I was looking for a way to perhaps put this in, and then hopefully this is then going to tuck into the back of here, kind of like a Hobonichi cover. Well, is it going to fit? Yes, it's going to fit. It's a bit stiff, but it will go. I mean, I'm not going to put my Faded Chronicle one in there, but I do have another one, because I quite like using the Faded Chronicle as it is, but I just want to show you. It's not going to... It will go, it's just because the cover's quite matte, it's like sticking to each other. So you just slowly have to edge it in. Eventually go in there. Oh, there's another pocket on the back as well. Oh, even more stuff to fit in. I'm going to end up with a really fat Traveller's Notebook. I know I am. Yeah, so it fits in like that. And then there's another one on the back as well, so I could probably put another notebook. Let's have some fun while we're here. Ooh, the Traveller's one doesn't actually fit in here. Whether this is designed to be for the Traveller's notebooks, I don't know. Because, I mean, it's a zipper case with 3 pockets. So no, it's probably supposed to just be to slot stickers and that stuff in it. But the Faded Chronicle one fits in there quite snugly. So yeah, this will be attached with a band, and then this will hold in place without having to have the band down the middle, which is what I like. And then this side you've got a little zipper pocket, so you can put all sorts of bits and bobs in there as well, or stickers or whatever it is that takes your fancy. So yeah, I'm happy that works. I'll just put that to one side and I'll pull it out in a little bit. The mess I make on my desk. Okay, we can use some of this card. It's quite a nice card actually. So then I've got the card file one. So the refill card. So yeah, it's literally just got card pockets on both sides. So you can stick stickers in here, or she says, do the little stencils fit in here? Yes, they do. Or it's another great way to have more pockets in there as well. So I'm glad that I got both of them now, because this one I can't tuck a notebook in like I can the other one. So that's now good to know. So yeah, but I'll find a use for this because I do have a lot of these little stencils, and I'm intending to make my own as well at some point. So it would be great to be able to travel around with them. But the other great thing I like about these is they are not glossy. They're more matte, which is what I prefer. Very much do prefer. So that's what I got from Draw. I wish I could spend more in the store. I really do, because there was all sorts of bits and bobs that I was like... But I was totting up the price in my head and like, no, your bank account will not like you. In fact, my card probably would have declined. So yeah, those are the few bits that I got from Draw. But yeah, definitely highly recommend going to Draw if you're ever in Glasgow. Then opposite Draw store, there was like a gift souvenir handmade shop. And there was a couple of illustrations that caught my eye. So the first one is this scene where there's fairy lights all the way in the cloisters by night at the University of Glasgow. And it's by Julie Patterson. And it is just a gift card. And it is just a greetings card, but, you know, we can always just use them as illustrations. And then this one is also by the same illustrator, but I just love this because that is literally a snapshot of somebody's apartment window. And of course they've got Paddington looking up, which is just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So Julie Patterson is a Scottish illustrator based in Glasgow. Her work focuses primarily on the theme of nostalgia, which very much she's ticked the box there, blending hand-drawn and digital art to create a wide range of art prints, greeting cards and gift products. So yes, those two very much caught my eye. But then the thing that really caught my eye was this glorious print. How lovely is that? This just, as soon as, it was in one of those boxes, you know, where you flick for all the different art prints. And as soon as I flicked to this one, I'm like, that's it, I'm having it. I just love this so much. Thistles are the heart of Scotland. Then the map, obviously, an exaggerated map of Scotland in the shape of a human heart, and then the thistles coming out of the arteries. I just think that's fantastic. And this is by Dainty Dora, surface pattern design, print and illustration, that is run by Rebecca Johnston. So go check out her work if you love this like I do. So I'm definitely going to find a place for this. And I'll shoot some B-roll because I'm in my temporary sort of like studio setup at the moment, so I want to make it a little bit more homely. So I'll film some B-roll and show you where I stick this. So yeah, very nice. I love those. Then I went to Miller's art store, which is the oldest art store in Glasgow, but there wasn't anything really different. Like, it was basically like a Cass Art, but just with more stuff in it, but not necessarily more God stuff. It was more just sort of like, I don't know, not the greatest quality of art supplies, I would say. Whereas Draw was very much the highbrow, top-brow sort of stuff. Particularly from Japan and Germany in the US, whereas Miller's did have some highbrow stuff, like they have Caran d'Ache, they have Liquitex, they have, you know, I'm trying to think of the oil paint, Graham, I don't know. They've got some highbrow stuff, but they do tend to sort of like go for quantity over quality of stuff, I think, in Miller's. Also, it was nice to walk around. It was nice and spacious so you could look at everything. But I don't know, I was really spoiled at Draw. So Miller's kind of, you know, there's nothing bad about Miller's. It's just there's nothing different to, as I said, like a Cassart or anything like that. I mean, for another prime example would be Jackson's art. Very much has a vibe and a look and an aesthetic about it when you go there, compared to Cassart, whereas Cassart's very commercial and, you know, very much spend money. So we can make some money. And I kind of got that vibe from Miller's a little bit. So yeah, by all means go and have your own opinion. Especially, I mean, I did get a couple of bits because there was a few bits that I needed. Like, they sell individual Tombow, so there was a couple of colours that I needed to get. And I got some more blending stumps and just a new surface to work on, a pastel board. So, you know, I did get a couple of bits there, but as I said, there's nothing really special or unique about it. Whereas at Draw, you know, it had the vintage vibe. It had a very cool, very sort of laid back atmosphere to it. And it was, like I said, I was spoiled at Draw. So, you know, Miller's had a high standard to stick to. But yeah, so I went to Miller's. Then when did I go? I think I went to Paint and Mortar. Did I go? No, I meant to go to Paint and Mortar, but I didn't get the chance to because time was running out. Then I decided I wanted to try and squeeze in an exhibition, so I did that. Then I went to Typo. Well, correction, I didn't go to Typo. I walked by Typo and realised, it has its own store. I didn't know they had their own stores. I've only seen them like within other stores, like a section in another store. And Typo always have really cool stuff. Like, I got my pencil case from there, which I really like, which now have upset my whole balance of books. So I do sort of keep an eye on what Typo has. I mean, they have a lot of sort of gimmicky stuff as well, but sometimes the little bits of gimmicky stuff can be quite nice, such as these little paintbrush holders that I got. I didn't realise they were a pack of 3. I thought there was just one in the box, but there isn't. There's 3. So that's nice. Do I have a paintbrush to hand? Of course I do. Come on, out you come. But yeah, they do a whole bunch of like art supplies, but they're like the Works equivalent art supplies. They're not great. They're not bad either, but they're not, you know, artist quality or anything. But yeah, so it's basically a little artist palette, a ceramic one. And you just rest your brush there so it doesn't roll anywhere. Because the amount of times I put my brush down and I just get paint all over the desk. Very good at doing that. So I thought these were really nice. And as I said, you get a pack of 3 in there. I realised in the store as well, you can actually take your journal in and they'll like emboss or stamp like your initials or whatever you want embossing onto your journals, your leather journals that is. I didn't know that was something they did. The other 2 things that I got were these stencils, because I'm always, as I said, I'm thinking about doing my own stencils. So I'm looking at like everybody's stencils to see like how they've done them and what designs and so on and so forth. So these ones, I believe, oh, there's a lot in them. I've got, yeah, 5 designs. So we've got some letters, some weathers, big notes. I mean, these are really big, really big. And then, I mean, these could be a lot smaller. Some grids and for journaling and whatnot. These should be like half the size, honestly. Some ribbons. And then some journaling supplies. again, they should be half the size of what they actually are. Why are they so big? Then the other one, so that one is work in progress, and then this is no bad days. I imagine they'll have other ones later on, but again, they're very big. Okay, so on this one, we've got some daisies and some flowers. We've got another alphabet. Is it the same font? Yes, it's the same font, but it's a little bit smaller, so that might be better. And then some rose designs at the top, and then this cookie design, and some ribbons and a couple of birds, and then some more roses. No bad days. So, but what I like about these is they're not hard, they're not rigid, like some stencils can be, so that's what I like about those. So I got those as well. And after all of that, and before I went back for my train, I of course went to Starbucks. I'm a basic girl, I like Starbucks, there's no denying it. But I don't actually like coffee. That's the interesting thing. I love that they're doing matchas now, so I definitely order a matcha usually, except for this time I was convinced to get a tiramisu frappuccino, so I had that. I love that. I'll put that on screen. That was delicious. It is very sweet. Actually no, it wasn't as sweet as I was expecting. It was more creamy, there was a little bit of coffee in it, but more chocolate, I would say. But it was absolutely delicious, and it was so cool as well because it was really hot in Glasgow, which is just a big shock for me anyway, because I've only ever been to Glasgow or Scotland full stop in the winter, like January, February time. I've never been any other time of the year, so that was a little bit of a culture shock to me as well. But we know that Starbucks have their merchandise, and of course I had to get something. They had the really big mugs that said Glasgow on them, and then had different icons on for Glasgow, but this little one, look how dainty this is. I love this. This is like a shop mug, an espresso mug, I suppose you could use it for, but it does say that it's an ornament. It's part of the You Are Hair collection, but I love the whole design on this. It really does capture Scotland. The fact that it's very green, but then they have a lot of blue because it's Scotland, and then blue inside. And I just really, really, really like this. So I went for this one instead because this was, I think, £11. And then I think the bigger mug was like £12. And it was just like, I might not see these ones again. I don't know, but I just loved it so much, so I ended up getting that. The following day, I somehow managed to lose my bank card, which is probably a good thing for my bank account, because I went to the Macintosh at the Willow before we came back. And it's probably a good thing because there were so many things that I wanted to get. There was key rings, there were prints, there were books, there were scarves, there was stained glass stuff. There was so much stuff I wanted to get. They even had one of the Macintosh's chairs to be able to buy, which I think they were like $5,500, so that wouldn't have been one of my purchases, but you know, a girl can dream. So yeah, that's it for my little haul in this video, and I've probably rambled way too much. So yeah, let me put you on overhead, and I'm gonna talk you through my May setup. Probably do my May setup in my Faded Chronicle, and then do some journaling. So let's have a look at my May setup, seeing as it's now the 3rd of May. So I'm still very much using my Hobonichi. the last video you guys saw was the honest use of my Hobonichi. About me rambling about me not using it. But I've very much been using it. So I'm back on board, I think. But let's see how long that lasts. So the monthly setup is very much just adding some colour, separating the grid out and having a few notes. So like I like to put like aesthetic vibes, kind of the symbols of nature, because that inspires then the stickers that I'm going to make for each month. These are some stickers done by another creator. I'll leave a link who she is. She's from Poland. My month is already looking quite busy. Again, we're traveling quite a bit this month. There's some album releases, and it's so funny because they're like 90s, early noughties sort of artists and music that's been released, and then obviously some anniversary editions. So I put those there to remind me that they're coming. Obviously I've just done my Glasgow trip. So the month, I wanted to do like a whole sticker set, a setup thing, sticker sheets for you guys this month. I've only managed to do a few of my stickers, like the fonts and the quotes and the little poem that I wrote, and these ink sort of swatches and coffee rings and stuff like that. I've done a few designs as well, but I've just not got them to the stage where they were finished enough. I was going to release like a digital version for you guys, but it's just not happened. So hopefully you'll see those next May, or well, before May. So yeah, so that's my May monthly setup. Then the weeklies pretty much look like this. That's the rest of April, and then I've done May colours here, and the May colours here, and then here as well. So I've set up the weeks in advance, so they're ready to go. Nothing much has really changed. I have a focus box, a weekly focus box, then project 1, project 2, my docket instead of a to list, because I really like the word docket. It's a bit oldie worldy, but I like it. Like, what's on today's docket? It sounds better than today's to-do list. It just, yeah. My notes here at the bottom, my handover, so whatever I've not got finished or I need to focus on for the following week, I'll sort of like make a note of it, because then there I know straight away to transfer it to the following week, which I know sounds a bit sort of daft, but for my little brain it works. Let's not question it. If it works, let's not question it. And then cumulative hours, so how many hours I've spent this week, and then I'll eventually add them all up at the end of the month, and then also work out how long it takes me to do things. And then the daily pages, I've not done anything for the cover because I'm kind of hoping to finish the illustration that I'm working on that was going to be part of the sticker sheet. So hopefully by the end of May I can stick it there, and it'll be done. So this is how it's looking. I did use... Here and here, I use the Fern ink tents, and even on the lines and my annotation and the title here, I used ink tents Fern 1560 if you're interested, because it does match the monthly Hobonichi's monthly colour quite nicely. That's before I got the Tombow 126 at Miller's in Glasgow, so I'll be using the Tombow because the Tombows are just easier to use. Like here I've had to add water to get them to spread in there as well, and then it's made the page a little bit crumply, which I don't mind too much. So yeah, that's how the pages are looking. And then I'm using the Copic multi-liner Cool Grey 0.3 for my text as well, which I kind of wish it was a little bit darker, but I don't know, I'm liking it. It looks okay. So yeah, I just have a journal entry about Hello May and me not finishing my Moss in Memory thing that I wanted to do. And then yeah, just talking a little bit about that and then what's going to be happening. And then we're moving on to Glasgow. And I've stuck my Iron Brew from McDonald's I have to do it now. Every time I go to Scotland, the first thing you do is go to a McDonald's, so we get iron brew on the pump. It's become like a tradition now that we just have to do it, because A, I swear it tastes better than getting it out of the can or the bottle, and B, you just can do it. You can't do it anywhere else in England. You have to go to Scotland to get iron brew on the pump. So yeah, that I have to do that. So that's the first thing you do, because it's like super early in the morning, so it was breakfast time as well, so I had iron brew for breakfast. So yeah, I'm gonna in this video I printed out all sorts of bits of ephemera, train tickets, receipts, photographs and things, and then I want to write about the whole trip, so you'll see me do that towards the end of the video, which won't be that far away, I don't think. So you'll see me journaling those, so you can actually journal with me. Again, missing the line space is still just, it's like heaven to me, honestly. It's such a simple trick that I just didn't think about doing before, and it just works. It just helps me to breathe and think, and being able to annotate as well. I mean, I could have annotated before, it's just because the text was so together, it just made me not want to reread the text, whereas now I do. So, you know, it's probably something to do with the fact that I'm dyslexic as well. It makes it easier for me to, because the thing is, when you're dyslexic, the individual letters move round and they flip round. So when they're all bunched up together, it just causes chaos in the visual mind. So the fact that there's a line in between them, I think just helps to separate them a bit more. So it just helps my little dyslexic brain. So, moving on from the Hobonichi, the Faded Chronicle. Now this is technically my, what do we call this? Workbook? Yeah, it's got to be, because it's basically all my content creation of what I'm planning, what videos I need to do. This is for both channels, so both Book Nook and Studio Spirit. But what I typically do, this book is only supposed to be used for like 6 months of the year, and then you buy another one, kind of like the AVAX, the Hobonichi AVAX. But what I've done is I basically use each spread, monthly spread, as 2 months. So I've got January and February together, and how I separate them is via colour. So February was red and January was like this purpley colour. It's the first time I did this. This isn't supposed to be aesthetically beautiful or anything. If I want to stick stickers in, because I've got some spare ones, I will stick them in. But I'm not like intending to do it all the time. So this is the monthly, the new one. I'm going to leave this for now because I'm not really sure what I want to do for that. I mean, what did I do for last month? Oh, I just put some stickers in them, what pens I was going to use, and then my inbox. So I've already started doing the inbox here. That one's already done, so I can check that one off. But this is basically the master list of the videos that I want to get done in the order, and also some other tasks that I want to get done. Then we've got the monthly here. Let's just use a pencil. So do we do Monday to Monday? We do Monday, right? Yeah. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Wait, that can't be right. Oh yeah, we had it. Yes. Already done it wrong. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this month started the first here, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Is it 31? Yes, there's 31. Okay, so 31 days this month. Do I actually want to... No, let's keep it at the bottom. I was thinking about having the blank spaces up there, but no, let's keep them at the bottom. So, what does June look like? June starts on Sunday, so 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and then 30. So I'm actually going to put 30 here. No, I'm not. That's just going to confuse my little brain. So I'm going to use pretty much the colours for me because I really like them. So I'm going to use the Tombow 126. And then I finally got my hands on one of these triangles that's got the ridges, a new one, again from Miller's. So let's go ahead. Do I want the top triangle? Let's just stick that there because I keep jumping back to this of how I'm doing it. Right, yeah. So. Keep second guessing myself. Okay, so all I'm going to do is split each day like so into triangles. It's not supposed to be a perfect one, it's supposed to just be for me to easily to understand. Then the other thing that I'm going to do is the date, and I like to use this rotating stamp. And all I'm using is literally the day on it, not the month or the year. And then I need to get another colour Tombow, but I don't have that many Tombows with me. I might need my 0.5 in a second. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to use my Caran d'Ache for the grey. Is this? No, that's a purple. That's a purple. It looks grey, but it's not. Then I've got a pink, my brown that I'll probably have to use, and then a different. Yeah. So I'll use the brown for the numbers. The brown is 899. I like this one because it's quite reddish. So all I do is simply colour 01 in and just stamp it in. Ideally, I'd like to stamp it in the correct way. That's not happening today. So let me try and show you that again. Yeah, so 02, and then just keep changing and reapplying the Tombow. Like so. I mean, it does take a minute to do all of this, but, well, quite a few minutes, but it's set up then for 2 whole months, which I kind of forgot about, to be honest with you, because when I was using the other book, I was like, oh yeah, you have to now use your book. Yeah, I kind of forgot that basically I ran out of months in April because I got so used to it. So that's how that will look for May pretty much. And then for June, I'm going to use the grey. So I'm going to see what it looks like. Yeah, just that's the grey more, which is fine. Let me just rub out my messy letters. Don't you just love these little bits from the rubber? Being very careful, am I? No. Okay, so then how am I going to do the letters for... Oh yeah. So then for June, it starts on a Sunday, doesn't it? Mickey, go back to you. Yeah, so June starts on... the Sunday. So I'm going to colour in with the Caran d'Ache. Now I would do this with a grey Tombow if I had a grey Tombow, but I don't. So I'm going to have to make do with this, which is just as fine. It just takes a little bit longer, that's all. Yeah, and then I can add over the top the colour. Oh. Yeah, there we go. So then each one's got its own colour. colour, kind of don't want to use the brown because it did get a little confusing both having them there. So let's just try a little bit on a test piece. If it'll go on top of the Caran d'Ache to begin with. Let's see what the purple looks like. So let's go back to 01. Okay, it does go over, but the purple does not show up. So let's see what the coral looks like. Kind of works. What does the pink look like? Coral looks better. What about the green actually? Kinda works, kinda. Let's try this one. Oh, needs to be a little bit more over on the tongue. Yeah, let's do the green. Because that's not going to confuse me at all, is it? So yeah, so June starts on Sunday. So I'll pop it in the corner there. And again, I've done it upside down. Why do I do the ones upside down? Going to do Lily in my old age. 2. And the 3. And then the 4. Because the thing is, I don't need to write too much on these days. But I like to have it as just purely a visual reference. And then every so often I will mark like a little event or whatever needs to be done. It's usually a deadline that I stick on here. So yeah, that's basically what it's going to start and look like. I will do the rest of the calendar, but I will speed it up, otherwise you guys are going to be bored titless if you're not already. What do we want? What styles do we want? I mean, these are some Archer and Olive stamps that have escaped my acrylic stamp folder. I need to put them in there. What do I have on here? These ones are a little bit big. Oh, these ones. Oh, and these ones. Okay, first things first. Okay, so May. Stick you. Oh, SD cards going flying, not a good move. So I've got May there. And let's do that for nice green colour. Right at the top, yes I do. May across there, like so. Bit of an angle there. That's all right. And then we have June somewhere. I'm going to do this one green as well, but I will go over with a pencil. what I like to do here is then turn that one that way, like so. Twenty. I'd like to do 2025. Again, I'll go over some of those with the grey in a minute. I shall show you. I think I'm happy with those ones. So, do we want block days or we want just individual days? Individual days, I think. Yeah. Let's do Monday. Do we want to do it in brown or green? Let's keep it not so standy out. Because we need reference of them, but they don't always have to stand out. So let's just squeeze Monday in there. Press a little bit too hard there. And then Tuesday. Thursday. Wednesday. It's because this side's very squishy, whereas this one's more solid on that side. So I think I'll get a better stamp on this side. Yeah. I don't know why I stuck that upside down, but we did. At least I noticed this time. Saturday. And Sunday. Again, I put it upside down. I think it's because I'm rushing because I'm on camera. There's no rush. I can edit myself. But I don't know. Me and my crazy little brain. Okay, so Mum's Days, just go around here. So June will be in the grey, except this grey is actually making it a darker green, which, oddly enough, is the Hobonichi colour green for the June. And what do I mean by it's the same colour? So May, we have this green here, but then June we have that green. So accidentally, I've made the green. So if you're struggling to make the green, or if I can't find a Tombow that colour, mix 126 and this cool grey Copic together and you get the green. Happy accidents, eh? So what else do we want to put on this month? Yeah, so that's why I like to have 2 lines here. So I like to use this Archer and Olive one here in focus. Stick that there. Nope. Let's see if I can. There we go. And then do it again. Here. There we go, that's a bit better. So it says in focus, and then here I'll have like May in focus and then June in focus. So these are the to-do lists for each month. Yeah, so let's use the little stamps here. I'm just going to put May in brown so it matches the numbers. May in focus. And then we've got June as well. But I'm actually going to try. No, don't worry like that. Just going to use the green. And then go over with the grey. Jump. Okay, so I think that's it with the stamps. We'll pop them back. Put them on the shelf for now. So then what else do I like to do? So yeah, I basically then just put stickers, which I can do because I have some spare ones right here, already cut. More, yep. So I can pop those on in a second because I don't really use the goals or to remember. I mean, I did it a little bit there, but I don't really need to. So I can just pop some images on. What do we want to use? What looks like a good idea? We'll go down there because I quite like this one. It's like my hands are always tired, always busy. And we'll just go quite nicely there, but I need to finish doing the calendar there, so I'll stick that there in a minute. So I'm just going to speed up, do the rest of this on a timeline so you guys can see the full spread. Okay, so that is my calendar spread for the Faded Chronicle for both May and June. So it can look a little bit chaotic, but because I use the two different colours, it just makes it easy for me to remember which is which. So yeah, that's all set up and ready to go. And then use the first weeks in there. So did I have a little? Yes, I did. I'll pop that. No, better because I need it for the inbox. So let's get on with doing some journaling for Glasgow. If anyone's got any questions of what I do or how to do something, feel free to just, ask me in the comments. I don't mind. Or you can DM me on Instagram. I'm not very active with Instagram. I need to get better at posting stuff because I just don't. But I am on Instagram. I just don't post too much. So hopefully I'm going to get better at doing that, especially if you start DMing me, because I'll take more notice of it. But yeah, where is... So that's what I want to write. And I've got a few notes written down somewhere. Just tidy up a little bit because I'm getting a bit messy. So I don't need that one. Don't need that one. The two pens we're using. Might use a couple of those stickers, so let's leave them there. I will need my glue stick. Okay, so I'm gonna journal away here. I'm just gonna start writing, sticking my images in, and then maybe some stickers a little bit. Index as well. What colour it needs to be, and I've forgotten what colour it is because I'm going to start in colouring rather than using dots, because on my Hobonichi I can feel literally where I've put all my dots, like these, all the way throughout my journal, and I can feel those bits. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but it's literally like two little humps, and it makes it, and I'm just spreading ink tents everywhere. It makes it difficult to write on sometimes, so I kind of want to avoid doing that. And I don't know, I sort of have this like unspoken goal, even though I'm going to speak it now, of I want to keep this Hobonichi as flat as possible. Whereas last year I had like a really thick chunky one at the end of the year, which was kind of nice and I really liked it. But I kind of want to have like a thin, floppy sort of Hobonichi at the end of the year this year, so see how we go. So yeah, I'm going to write, stick stickers in and all that jazz until the battery runs out. According to this, there's 35 minutes left on the SD card and I've literally run out of SD card space now. I really need to edit. So yeah, I'll do that until it ends, but editing me will put some music on over the top because otherwise you guys might be bored of just listening to the pen on the paper. But also it gives an opportunity for you guys to journal along with me, which I'd love to know if you do. So leave me a little pen emoji in the comments below if you're going to journal along with me and let me know that you've got this far into the video. I would love to know. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and listening to my rambles and shenanigans and setups. But yeah, there will be more videos like this, so if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing so you'll be notified when I release more stuff. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.